almost like MTV, but not quite. Anyways, I'll gain popularity. It'll just take 50 years or so. It'll at some point somebody will catch on. All right, the following table shows the amount of the average number of items purchased per person at a retail store. You see the table, you're almost thinking, yeah, this is a weighted mean situation, right? Saying that 4 people bought 5 items, right? So instead of saying 5, 5, 5, 5, 4 times, you just organize it in a table like this. You know, the fancy name for something like this is called a frequency table. Just thought I'd mention it, right? So you go ahead and multiply them like this. That'd be step number 1. Okay, so you get 20. That's 65, right? Nope, 75. Sorry. That's 120, 350, 400. 7 times 6, 420, right? 3 times 65 is 195. And 200. Hey, my mental math skills still work. Anyways, so then that would be, I think if I see that in some fashion, you got 1 mark already. That's courtesy, right? And then you add it up. So if you want to go and just do this, you know, that's fine with me because it's still showing me work, right? So you go on paper here, if you could, you would show me that you're adding, but make sure you show me that you're adding it somewhere, right? So that, all of that divided by, so this is going to be the tricky part, but if you do show me the addition, I would give you 1 mark that you're adding the products, right? When you multiply something, we call that the product, right? The result of multiplication. So this would be the sum, and then I need to figure out what I need to divide by. So that's when you read, calculate the mean number of items, right? So you've been multiplying people and items the whole time, right? So if you want this left, that means that you need to divide by the number of people. So you need to add up this row up here. Is that 45? I tried to make it a nice round number. So if that's 45, then, right, that shows me, right, you added it up here, so you're going to put 45 down here. Okay, so that would give you another mark. You picking the 45. If what's the other one? I don't even know. 350? Yeah, so it would have been, that's wrong if you have 350. Okay, so you only get 2 max, right? So when you add up all of these, what do you get? I'm going to ask you to help me out here because 1780. 1780, lots of nods. Okay. And so when you divide that, I can do that part. You did the hardest part. So that'll be 39.555, right? That'll be 56 items per person. So almost 40 items per person, but it's okay to do this because it's a way to measure and compare, right? You take another store, that store might get 41.26, right? So on average, that store sells a little bit more per customer, right? Even though in reality you wouldn't talk about it that way. Okay, we're good. So obviously you need to get this mark to get the 3, okay? That is a must. If you didn't put units, take off half. If you didn't round correctly, take off half. You know the drill. Apparently there'll be a fire drill this week, so I don't know when. So we organize this. So you're going to help me out here too. There's 14 and 14, right? And then I see 17 and 17. And like that. Okay, thank you. And then 22 and 23. And then 32, 35, 79. All right, perfect. So you get a mark for that. Easy peasy, right? I'm nervous when I'm up here. That's why I make mistakes. Okay, so leave me alone. Arrange the data set. So we did that. Calculate the arithmetic mean. So we're going to find the average. And so I know 2, 4, 6, 10, right? What's the sum? That was almost synchronized. Pretty good. 268. So that would be 26.8 views per turkeys. If you put turkeys down, full marks, because I got it wrong, right? So it's okay. Maybe that's what I will start doing, selling turkeys. Who knows? Maybe it's good money. All right, determine the median number of views. So we've got 10, right? So the trick is, if it's even, split it in half. So it's the 5th and the 6th divided by 2. And so I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it's 17 plus 22 divided by 2. 39 divided by 2, which is 19.5 views. Turkeys. What does this tell us? That half of the time, right? Half of the time there will be fewer, and half, right? Half of the time there will be more, okay? Or you can say half are below that number, half are above. So that's important too. So I would give you 1 mark for that explanation, 1 mark for figuring out your median, okay? State the mode. I made it kind of tricky, didn't I? But it is actually 14 and 7 or 17 views, right? In this case, there are 2 modes there. Is there an outlier? 79, right? Yes, 79 views. Actually, this is actually data from my channel. Yep. No, not there yet. Anyway, so you get 1 mark for that. Trimmed mean. So we want to cut the outlier and the lowest, right? So we're left with that. I think this might be easier to just take the 268 I had earlier, way up here, and I'm just going to take the 14 away, this one here, and the 79. It's almost like I'm undoing that, divided by 8. And what do you get here? Yeah, makes sense, yeah. 175 over 8, and that is 21.88. Views. Unless I tell you in this unit, just keep it decimal, but it's okay for today. Yeah, because you're thinking views, right? But we kind of just keep it that way because we use it to compare. I will actually make a question soon where we compare. Yeah. Yeah, or get 0.88 of a view. I mean, that kind of makes sense. You don't finish the video. I don't know. So there it is. So why is there 2 marks there? Because you need to come up with the correct top number and also make sure you have the correct bottom number, right? You adjust the number of values and you adjust that. Okay, so obviously you need the right answer to get this one. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 3. That makes it 11 for questions 1 and 2. Just already kind of added up out of 11 for that portion. Got it? And then we'll do the backside. I feel like I wanted to say something about this. Oh, what could have been a reason? Yeah, I didn't add that. What could be a reason for that outlier? Yeah. If it's turkey, yeah, Thanksgiving. But what about the views? Okay. Or remember the yeah. Or remember the day I was away, right? All three of my classes I assigned videos. That could have been it. It could have been that there was a test the day before, right? Two or more classes happen to have a test the day before. So it always happens. Like if you look at my channel, just the day before the test, it goes like this and then goes back down. And then
Instant
goes.
monetization. Don't show up for a week at a time, and then force your students to watch the video.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. I just couldn't do it. All right. Um, here, same thing. You multiply, right? And you get, let me see here, 464, 780, 1540, 1,000, right? And this is 1750. If you have that, you get a mark. Then you will add them up. So to get my average, that added up, help me out, please. What is it? 5,534. Not that I don't trust you, it's just that way, we know for sure. So 55.34 is, so you would get another mark for adding it, and then just one mark for the correct final answer, which means you had to divide by 100. But, oh, did you checked, right? I hope you checked this, the weights here, they do add up to 100, and then you immediately know, because sometimes you will get a number and percentages. If you add up those percentages and it's not 100, don't assume it's going to be 100, right? Whatever, read the question. You need to decide. You need to cancel out, right? Just like I did before. All right, last but not least, heavy hitter, right? So I can just say, right, 464, 780, 1540, 1,000. This changes also to 1,000. And this, if you want, you can call this 15x, right? You're multiplying it. So you get a mark for that. And here I'm going to actually switch gears. I'm going to say, hey, we want that 60. So let's add this up, right? So 460. Okay, 1 second. I'll ask you. Okay, and then you're going to divide that by, 100. It's the average you want. Yeah. You just need to be here or watch the video and then you'll know. What is the addition of all of these here? 84 or 81? Okay, plus 15x over 100. Okay, so if you get to this, if you did the multiplying, and if you get it to this step, I would also give you 1 mark already. Okay, and then at this point we multiply by 100. And so that's 6,000 is equal to 4784 plus 15x. At that point, you would also subtract 4784 from both sides, canceling that out. And this will be 15x, and this gives you this is 12, 16 first, right? We're not there yet. Yeah. And then we divide. So sorry, if you get to this point, you get another mark. I would give you, if you get to there, you get another mark, and then the final answer will be, I happen to see that number quite often, 81.07. That's the one I was checking. on the final 2, right? So if she were to score this on that second final, then the average would be 60 in that case. Okay. So you get obviously another mark for that. So we make this out of 4, okay? Not 3, but out of 4. Change question 4 out of 4. Actually, B, is it possible? Yes, it is. Since the score needed, what would you say here? Is below 100. That's a mark for that. So technically question 4 is out of 5. Did you catch that? Question 4 is out of 5 because of B. So the back, so questions 3 and 4 added up would be 8 as well. So what's the front? 11. So 8 and 11. 8 and 11 is 19. So we need to change this out of 19. And make sure your name and last name is on there. And pass it forward. Make sure it's facing down, okay?